Welcome, everybody, to T-Mobile Tuesday Night Baseball from the great city of Atlanta. We're at Turner Field, which you might remember as Olympic Stadium back in 1996, converted to baseball for 97, and the Mariners are here for the first time since 2008. Welcome, everybody, to Mariner Baseball as they take on the Atlanta Braves on a beautiful night here in the Deep South. Dave Sims, Mike Blowers, and our Root Sports crew on hand as Erasmo Ramirez will face off against Gavin Floyd. Your pitching matchup. The Mariners played some good ball. They've won their last 3 ball games and stayed a game over 500. Here's a look at their lineup for tonight.
Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Chevron. Leading off, it'll be James Jones. Then it's Michael Saunders. He has been a hot hitter for the Mariners. He will hit second. Then it's Cano. How about Kyle Seager? Average up to 272, leading the club in home runs and RBIs. And last night, 4 for 5, a home run, 2 triples, and a double, including 3 RBIs for Kyle. Then it's Smoke Ackley. John Buck getting to start behind the plate. He will hit 7th. Miller, and then the pitcher Ramirez rounding out the 9 for the Mariners. Take a look at Gavin Floyd. Familiar with Gavin when he was with the White Sox. We got to see him pitch quite a bit. He has pitched well. This will be his 6th start. You can see his ERA at a 2.37. 27 strikeouts, only 8 walks for him. Good fastball. He'll be in the low 90s with his fastball. Also use a curveball. It's a pitch that he will use to get some strikeouts and mix in a slider and a changeup. And a look at the defense for the Braves. Justin Upton in left field, B.J. Upton in center, and Jason Hayward is in right. Chris Johnson gets to start at third. Simmons and Listella will start up the middle. Then it's Freeman, the first baseman, and Evan Gattis will do the catching tonight for the Braves.
Well, here we go. 31-year-old Gavin Floyd, first pitch. In there for called strike 1 to James Jones. Barking out balls and strikes tonight, Paul Schreiber. Marty Foster at first, Will Little at second, and Ted Barrett is at third. 85 degrees here in Atlanta. Very pleasant. I think the last time we were here in 08, we caught it in the heart of summertime. Pushing 100 degrees back then. 1-1 pitch. Jones fouls it off. Great win by the Mariners last night to complete the sweep in New York City as they beat the Yankees by a big number, 10-2. There's 1-2 pitch to Jones. It's up high, 2-2.
And that's something that you will see from Floyd. He will elevate his fastball at times, and he has a good fastball, 92, 93 miles an hour.
Coming out of the Baltimore area. Drafted by the Phillies originally. Here's a comebacker to Floyd. Jones is done. 1 out. 11th big league season. Drafted by the Phillies in 01. He's at Mount St. Joseph's High School in Baltimore, Maryland. Then he went from the Phillies after 3 years there. White Sox in 07 through last year, and this is his first year with Atlanta.
0-2 record for him, but a 2.37 ERA. He hasn't had much run support.
He's not walking people either.
No,
you
he's
see
not.
that? 27 Ks, 8 walks. Michael Saunders lays down a bunt. He's going to get a base hit. Beautifully done.
He has everything working for him right now. We showed you 360 average over the last 7 games, and he's going to add to that with this bunt base hit. He sees Chris Johnson, the third baseman, playing back. And Saunders able to take advantage of it. Something we've seen him do in the past, bunt for some base hits.
We'll bring up Robinson Cano. Cano 6 for 23 career against Gavin Floyd.
4 of those 6 hits for extra bases, 3 home runs and a double.
That will work. Up the middle, underneath the umpire and past the second baseman. Saunders working to third. He'll get there. Robinson Cano, a shot back up the middle, and with 1 out, the Mariners have runners at the corners here in the first inning.
It looks like Floyd is able to get a piece of this line drive, hit right back at him, deflects it off his glove. Listella, the second baseman, not able to keep it on the infield. Saunders, good speed, will move around to third, so a great opportunity for the Mariners here in the first.
Thankfully, Will Little, second base umpire, is flexible and a good athlete because he was able to get out of the way.
Has some quickness.
Yes, he did. Well, here's Kyle Seager, last night's hitting hero. Just a spectacular evening. Kyle grew up, talking to him before the game, grew up a Yankee fan. He said it was icing on the cake, certainly a special night for him. He said it was very cool. And Jeter was his guy growing up. And he talked about the fact that it was really funny that Jeter was a big part of that triple down the left field line, holding onto the ball because he thought it was a foul ball. Swing and a miss.
Well, Mike, Kyle did the right thing. The thing I like about it is you take those things for granted so many times, and you and I see it. But Kyle ran hard the entire way. Let the umpire make the call and don't assume anything. And that's the reason why in a ball that barely made it to the outfield grass, he was able to get a triple out of it.
He joked that if he were a little bit faster, he might have been able to score all the way. I said, let's not get carried away, fella. 0-2. And he fouls that one into the glove of Gaddis. Strikeout victim, 2 down.
We'll see if this is the slider or the cut fastball. It's right on the inside corner. A little cutter at 87 miles an hour. Kyle swinging over the top of it.
Well, to bring up Justin Smoke, trying to stop the free fall that he is on, swinging the bat lately.
Well, one of the things when you look at the Braves, they are first in pitching in the National League. Really good pitching staff, and that includes their bullpen. So the Mariners having 4 games, 2 here, and then they'll have 2 in Seattle. The thing that you want to do is get an early lead. You do not want to fall behind them. If you fall behind, it'll be difficult to get back in the games because their pitching is that good.
Be another 2-for series against Atlanta. That'll be home in Seattle August 5 and 6, a Tuesday, Wednesday. Night game, day game. Part of a homestand that includes the White Sox and the Blue Jays. Smoke 3 strikeouts, fly ball, and a base hit last night. One-0 pitch. Popped up. Shortstop takes control. That's Andrelton Simmons, and that'll go for the Mariners. They threaten, they don't score. We're underway here in Atlanta. The Braves coming to bat. Just recalled from AAA. Here is Erasmo Ramirez, 1-4 record, a 6.00 ERA, trying to keep this winning streak alive for the Mariners. They've won 3 in a row. Let's take a look at the Braves lineup for this evening.
Leading off for the Braves, it will be Jason Hayward, the right fielder. Then it's B.J. Upton. Freddie Freeman, 297 hitter. Calling Mr. Clutch, 471 average with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. So he's done a good job of driving in runs. Upton and Gaddis, they're the guys that are hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Upton with 13 home runs. Gaddis 11 this year. Then it's Johnson, La Stella, Simmons, and Floyd rounding out the 9-4 of the Braves. And for Erasmo, ERA, 1-4 record ERA right at 6 in 30 innings. He has 24 strikeouts, 12 walks. Opponents hitting 280, and then the big number for him, the 7 home runs that he's given up. And again, for the Braves, That is what they do. Hit it out of the ballpark. Ackley, Jones, and Saunders in the outfield. And a Seager at third. Miller and Cano playing up the middle. Smoke at first base. And John Buck have a day game tomorrow, so Buck will do the catching tonight. I'm sure Zunino will get the start tomorrow afternoon.
First pitch to Jason Hayward in there for a strike. I was stunned, and I'm sure you were too, to see the Braves are 14th in runs scored.
Yeah, they have struggled this year. If you look at 12th in average, 14th in doubles, 10th in triples. They are 6th in home runs. They will hit the ball out of the ballpark, and they're 9th in walks. So, but they've had a hard time, and they haven't hit well with runners in scoring position either. But they know that if they can get an early lead with their pitching, they have a real good chance to win the ball game, and that's what they're going to try to do. So for Ramirez here, getting the start, he needs to keep them in the ballpark.
That thing's rifled right field, fair ball. Out of the box, Hayward can really run. He's in the second with a stand-up double. His 8th double of the year.
We'll take a look at it. He gets a fastball, 89 miles an hour, and hooks it down into the corner. Not your typical leadoff hitter, but the Braves, they don't have a leadoff guy, so they think he's the best one for the job right now.
Ideally, he'd be your, what, 4, 5, 6 guy.
Probably hit 5th in your lineup.
There's B.J. Upton. Former Tampa Bay Ray. B.J. 5th in strikeouts in a ball club that has struck out 475 times. Only the Dodgers and Cardinals have struck out more in the National League.
BJ with more of an open stance, maybe trying to get a better look at the pitcher. That's the one thing, if you're pitching for the Mariners against these Braves, if you get into some trouble, you can get out of it with the strikeout. They'd mentioned they will swing and miss a lot.
Hayward, excellent speed at second base. 1-1 pitch. Through the hole, base hit. Hayward will just advance 90 feet. So the Braves have runners at the corners here in the first inning.
Both gloves coming out swinging early. And that's part of the problem with Ramirez. You can see where Buck was set up. Out the outside corner, that pitch middle away, didn't quite get it there.
Brings up Freddie Freeman. Fine first baseman for the Braves. Leads the club in runs, hits, doubles, and walks. He is a legit power threat. 9 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Just pitch off the plate, ball 1.
Now you look at his overall numbers, you know that he's just a good hitter, hitting .297. He has 9 home runs. We showed you the numbers with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, hitting .471 on the year, but he'll also take his walks. Has a real good idea of the strike zone. So Ramirez has his work cut out for him.
Runner goes. Throw down to second by Buck. On the third base side, stolen base for Upton, his 9th in 11 attempts.
He gets a great jump. He had about 2 steps towards second base before Ramirez letting the ball go. So a good jump for Upton.
Freeman 2 for his last 8. He's ahead in the count 2-0. Strokes that one just out of the reach of Cano. Hayward will score. And Upton to third, 1-0 Atlanta. RBI Freeman is 32nd.
Gets an off-speed pitch. It's not a bad pitch. It's down just off the plate. Give Freeman some credit as he goes out and hooks this ball into right field, just out of the reach of Cano. The Braves start off with 3 straight hits against Ramirez.
Brings up Justin Upton. Runners at the corners. B.J. Upton at third, Freddie Freeman at first. Strike one to Justin. 65 strikeouts. Tied fourth in the National League. He's also third in home runs with 13. Almost a Mariner a few years ago. Big deal that would have involved Taijuan Walker, Charlie Furbush, and others. 5-10 guy when he was with Arizona. Turned it down. Early trouble here for Ramirez. Call that a foul ball, looks like. Paul Schreiber, home plate umpire.
Yeah, it was a foul ball. Fastball running in on the hands of Upton, not able to check his swing and getting a piece of it.
Freddie Gonzalez, the Marlins manager before coming over here. With the Marlins when they made a Safeco Field visit back in 08. Took over for Hall of Famer Bobby Cox. Way outside. Buck thought about throwing to third.
Almost caught Upton.
Yeah.
That would have been a great play by Buck, making the throw to second, and Upton took a hard step towards home but was able to get back. And a good strikeout for Ramirez.
Wild pitch gets Freeman to second.
Good news, he gets the strikeout. The bad news, that takes the double play out of the equation.
Does.
Here's somebody, Dave, that I've wanted to watch play. I've seen the highlights of him on TV, and an interesting story for Evan Gattis, but he has a lot of power.
Made a lot of noise coming up last year. This one hit well. Right field deep. Saunders running out of room. And it is gone. 3-run home. Evan Gattis. And an early lead here for the Braves.
Well, he's the reason why the Braves felt that they could let McCann go. We just saw in New York playing for the Yankees now, and it's because of Gattis. Last year, Gattis just trying to get his bat in the lineup. Times did put him in the outfield, but he's a catcher and has tremendous power. This is a breaking ball, up, out over the plate.
Got the barrel to it, didn't he?
And just a unique stance. He's unique in a lot of different ways. No batting gloves. Strong man.
Braves' sixth best home run hitting team in the National League, and they show that power early in this ballgame. This is Chris Johnson. So hit to Cano. Takes the time and throws him out. Route number 2. Seventh man to the plate's going to be second baseman Tommy La Stella, playing in just the 6th game. Tommy, the second baseman. Dan Uggla having a nightmare season at 175. The guy they thought was going to be their everyday second baseman. 2 homers and 10 RBIs. 1-0 to La Stella. That one shot to the gap. And it gets through both outfielders. La Stella to second, digging for third, and he is safe. Brother, what a start.
We'll see how they score it. It's a base hit. It's just a matter of whether they're going to give him credit for a triple. It looked like Jones overran it. The ball checked up on him. And then you saw Ackley racing across. We'll see what happens here. The ball checks up. Jones overruns, and then Dustin, looks like it goes off the end of his glove. And a close play at third because of the strong arm by Jones. Almost gets him at third.
So waiting on the official scorer to make a ruling. And now Rick Waits, the pitching coach, runs out of the dugout.
He's given up 5 hits. here in the inning, including the 3-run homer to Gaddis.
So they're going to call that a single and an E8. Andrelton Simmons will stand in. He's going to be the next hitter. Let's take another look at this.
Well, it's good hitting first of all. Ball hit into the gap. Jones, you can see the ball checked up. He tried to reach back with his bare hand, and I think it went off the glove of Ackley. Deflected it past Jones, and a strong throw, but he's able to meet the throw into third. That will be a single and an E8.
Stella was busting hard out of the box. Surprised they didn't at least give him a double. Here's Simmons, Gold Glove winning shortstop last year. Young man out of Curacao. Played in 157 games last year. 17 homers, 59 RBIs out of your shortstop. Not bad. And a Gold Glove. First time seeing him in person, but he's been a highlight reel.
Yeah, he has. You've seen a lot of highlights of him playing shortstop. It's interesting, when he first signed, they thought about making him a pitcher.
Oh, big arm. Mid-90s.
And he said he wanted to play. They thought they would give him a chance, and after his first year in the minor leagues, that was it. He was a shortstop, and he's been a good one.
Great range. He's got a wide open stance.
He swung the bat well for him. 267 average with 4 home runs and 13 RBIs.
It'll work.
As he had 22 pitches, 13 strikes for Ramirez.
Jurickson profile, the outstanding prospect, an injured prospect in Texas. They were Little League teammates in Curacao, same country that produced Andrew Jones, who starred here in Atlanta for many years. Simmons, the 8th man to the plate here in the first inning. Way out off the end of the bat. So Ramirez trying to get a final out. He has been rocked here in the first. Two pitch with 2 outs. Man at third, swing and a miss. He got him. That'll do it. 4 runs, 5 hits, an error, and a man left. Shaky start, to say the least. 4-0 Braves. a reminder that we've got a matchup of East versus West coming up. Yankees coming to town June 10, 11, and 12. And they're going to be taking on the Mariners, and you can join us for a thrilling series as Cano faces off against his former team, and Yankee captain Derek Jeter pays his final visit to Safeco Field. Great seats to see the Mariners and Yankees, still available at mariners.com. And coming up, the only series at Safeco Field, and it's going to be Macklemore bobblehead night on the 12th. I have all the game scores for you here at Root Sports. 4-0 lead for Atlanta. 4 runs on 5 hits. 3-run homer by Evan Gattis, his 12th. Pushes his RBI total to 27. The Mariners have Dustin Ackley leading off.
Well, I think the difference that you see is Gavin Floyd was in trouble in the first inning. It was first and third and just one out. He was able to pitch his way out of that situation. Ramirez not having the same amount of success in the bottom of the first inning. The first and third situation right away by the Braves, and they ended up picking up 4 runs, including a 3-run homer by Gattis.
Ackley, John Buck, and Brad Miller here in the second inning. On a 1, Ackley. Floyd, a 4-4 career record against the Mariners in 16 games, 14 starts, 4.73 ERA. Chopper back to the pitcher. Floyd throws to Freeman for the out. Andrew Holyfield at the game. Multiple. The real deal Holyfield. That's how Michael Buffer and company used to introduce him all those years. I saw the fight he had with one of the fights he had with George Foreman in Atlantic City. It was amazing watching George Foreman at 48, 49 years old, more than hold his own. I think Holyfield won that fight, but it was a good one. John Buck, the catcher tonight, hitting .220, no homers, 2 runs batted in.
Mariners will bounce back. Day game tomorrow, so Zunino, I'm sure, will catch in the day game.
One-two pitch. Straighten him up.
A difficult trip for the Mariners. When you consider that they ended up getting into New York. I guess it was about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. They played the one game that night. And then last night, same thing, getting into Atlanta at about 2:30 in the morning. Quick turnaround. So I'm sure the guys are really looking forward to their off day on Thursday in Tampa. And then they have a 4-game series there.
Night game Friday and the day games the rest of the way.
They've been playing some good baseball as of late and ended up winning the game in New York yesterday. Felix was great once again. Of course, the big night by Kyle Seager on the offensive side of things.
Pretty much the chorus I heard out of the dugout of the Braves is, glad we missed Felix. You know, after last night.
I can understand that. He's back on his game again and really pitching well.
He'll pitch against Sunday against Tampa Bay, and then next Thursday against the Yankees at Safeco Field. 3-2 to Buck. Above Rick Riz and Aaron Goldsmith. On the radio side for the Mariners.
Good to see them get the win last night. New York in second place in the East. Of course, the Braves here in first place in the National League East.
3-2. Bouncer down to third. Here's Chris Johnson. Throws it wide and high, and John Buck is aboard.
And he'll get second base as the ball bounces into the stands. It'll be an E5. Simple play. He gets a good hop. Plenty of time to make the throw. I don't think it's real easy to throw the ball over Freddie Freeman's head. He has to go, what, about 6'4", 6'5".
Oh, every bit.
That'll be an E5. So break for the Mariners.
Brings up Brad Miller, the shortstop. Gotta like the signs of him coming out of the hitting woes he suffered.
I think it started with a couple of walks, and then he ended up getting 2 hits, and then he hit a home run, and here's another base hit for Miller.
John Buck to third. Bobbled in center field by B.J. Upton. Brad Miller caught halfway between first and second. Safe.
Wow. Mariners get on the scoreboard. Brad Miller with a big base hit last night. It was a last night ball game, and Brad came up with the bases loaded and was able to get a base hit and drive in 2 runs. And a similar base hit right back up the middle. And he has his head up when he's running. He sees the ball deflect off of Upton's body in center field and thought about going to second. Was barely back into first.
Simmons a quick throw, a little bit wide. Catch a break as Ramirez shows bunt his first and third crashing. Takes ball 1. John Buck coming around to score on the single by Brad Miller. Bunt, not a good effort there. 1-2. Hit that 1-1, beg your pardon.
Well, the Mariners, they really don't have a regular DH now, so I think the disadvantage they have playing in the National League ballpark is what you're seeing right now. The pitchers typically don't take batting practice. They don't work on their bunting because they never have to do it until they get into these games. They're clearly not as comfortable as the National League pitchers will be. That being said, good bunt.
Is a good bunt. Sacrifice 3-4. So 2 outs, man at second.
Let's see if James Jones can drive in a run as Ramirez helps himself out with a quality bunt.
Jones on a 2-2 pitch to open up the ball game, hit a comebacker to Gavin Floyd. And hard through the hole. Here comes Miller around third. The right fielder Hayward, good arm. The throw to the plate, cut off. They have Jones caught between first and second, and he's out. But Miller scores. And the Mariners put 2 on the board. 9-3-4-6 on the putout for Jones, but Jones picks up his 3rd RBI. The Mariners get a couple of runs back. It's 4-2 Atlanta. Floyd going to lead it off. The Braves pitcher looks at ball one. It'll be Floyd, Hayward, and Upton. B.J. Upton, 9-1-2.
It was good to see the Mariners come right back and score some runs, couple of runs, unearned runs, take advantage of an error, and Ramirez able to get the bunt down with an out, and some clutch hitting by Jones to get a base hit.
Easy hop for Miller. Throws out Floyd, and there's one away. Back to the top of the order, Jason Hayward, who doubled to right.
We'll see this a lot in the National League. Floyd just making the out. So Jason Hayward is going to take his time getting to home plate. Give Floyd a chance to get a glass of water and sit down, towel off. It's the job of the leadoff hitter in the National League.
Pitch outside to Hayward. Ball one. Strike. Rough first inning for Ramirez. 4 runs on 5 hits. There was an error and the Braves left him in. 1-2. Harris had to do a little extra jump that he didn't anticipate. 1-2. Ball and 2. Didn't know he had it. Smoke will take it himself. 2 down. Are you following us on Twitter for your chance to win Root Sports prizes? If not, there's still time at Root Sports _NW. And here is question number 3. Who will lead off for the Mariners in the top of the 4th for your chance to win a mini helmet? You're on Twitter Tuesday. Upton, straightaway center field. Turns Jones around. It's gone. Smoked the center field. His 5th home run. 15th RBI. The 2nd hit of the ball game. It's now a 5-1, 5-2, beg your pardon, 5-2 lead for the Braves.
And it looks like a hanging breaking ball in the first pitch. It's middle. And B.J. Upton will line it to dead center field. Yeah, but that's just a little breaking ball at 79 miles an hour.
Not moving anybody's feet. Everybody's going up there very comfortable and taking major league hacks.
Yeah, it goes back to what we've talked about with Ramirez this year, and it's the quality of his strikes. He's throwing strikes, but too many pitches in the middle of the plate. And one of the things that I've noticed is there's even been times when Buck will set up on one side of the plate and the baseball will end up on the other side of the plate. And although it's a strike, it's going against what they have as far as their scouting report and what John Buck wants him to do as far as the location of those pitches.
Freeman first time up, singled in a run. As ahead in the count, 2-0. Single to right. Right to Miller. And that'll do it. Home run by Upton. Another run on the board for Atlanta. 5-2 Braves. Mariners baseball on Root Sports, being brought to you by BECU, offering convenient access to online and mobile banking, thousands of surcharge-free ATMs, and more. By BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. By Jack in a Box. Head to Jack in a Box and try the new Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. It's Jack's hottest sandwich yet. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Plaza outside here at Turner Field in Atlanta, Georgia. Glad you joined us for Mariner Baseball. Dave Sims, Mike Bowers, Root Sports Crew. Rough start here for Erasmo Ramirez. Mariners riding a 3-game winning streak. A trail 5-2 to the Braves and Gavin Floyd. See Michael Saunders, what he can do to get things started in the third. Saunders, Cano, and Seager.
Michael had a base hit his first time up, a bunt base hit to get things started for the Mariners. He was able to work his way around to third base on the base hit by Cano, but was stranded there. That's his average up to 285 now.
Bounce foul. Saunders making sure that bat's still sound. Two hits, 3 RBIs, a home run last night. That off the leg of Floyd. Here comes Johnson, and the speed of Saunders wins out. 2 for 2, a couple infield hits.
Take a look at it. He hits it hard back up the middle. It catches Floyd in the leg. And a good play by Chris Johnson, the third baseman, to make it a close play. But Saunders running hard, able to beat it out for an infield hit. So a couple of infield hits for Mike, a bunt base hit, and now this infield hit. And Gaddis, the catcher, out to the mound right now, checking on the pitcher, making sure that he's okay. A good start for the Mariners again.
We'll bring up Robinson Cano. Base hit just past the pitcher, past the umpire, and past the diving second baseman La Stella, his first time up. Ball 1 to Robbie. Braves infield, double play depth. And that one hammered down the line. That's a fair ball into the corner. Saunders in full gear. Cano right behind him. Saunders to third. He'll get the stop sign there. A double by Robinson Cano. Great to have him back in the lineup. 2 for 2 night. And the Mariners come right back.
Let's take a look at this swing. It's a breaking ball in the middle of the plate, and Cano able to keep it fair. Looks like it hits right on the line. Cano now with 3 home runs and a couple of doubles off of Floyd. 2 for 2 night tonight.
12th double of the season for Robbie. Brings up Kyle Seager. Seager talking about his first year with the Mariners back in 12, and he got a double at Yankee Stadium. Actually, it was against the Yankees at Safeco Field, and talked about how much it meant to him that Jeter spoke to him, and it wasn't just a passing, hey, way to go, kid. He said, looked him in the eye, congratulations on your success, how you doing? He said, made his day, because that was his guy growing up.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that Derek was impressed with his performance yesterday.
Yes, indeed.
Well, he's find a pitch that he can pull to the right side. Braves have their infield back. Nobody out. Pick up a run and move Cano over to third.
Up the middle, and now they get a runner held up. That's a tough break. That is a tough break. So Saunders retired 1-5. Cano holds.
We'll take a look at it. Right back up the middle. Michael thinks it's going to get past the pitcher. Floyd actually fortunate to make the catch. The ball was hit hard. And now Lloyd McClendon coming out saying that he did not tag him. See Ted Barrett, the third base umpire, took his time on it, but a bad break for the Mariners and Kyle Seager. Mariners now 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position.
So 1 out, first and second.
Looked like Saunders, when he went back into the bag, tried to pull his right hand back out of the way. Again, this ball is hit hard. Unfortunately, it goes right into the glove of Floyd, and then Michael will pull that arm back. Ted Barrett, the umpire, great position to make the call. Called him out.
1 out, first and second. Justin Smoak popped out to the shortstop, his first time. That ended the first inning. Braves playing Smoak straight away and deep. 1-0 count. 2 balls, no strikes.
Good count for Justin. See if he can get a fastball out over the plate.
Three-0. Athletics playing at the Yankees. That game delayed by rain right now. Blue Jays and Tigers, no score. Bottom of third in Detroit. 3-0 pitch. Popped it up. Playable. 2 down. Leave it up to Dustin Ackley with 2 outs and 2 on.
Floyd with 40 pitches now, 26 strikes. The Mariners 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
Five runs, 6 hits, an error for Atlanta. 2 runs, 6 hits, an error for the Mariners. Mariners have left 2 on. Braves 1. There's a drive deep to right. Down the line. It is a foul ball. They tied this baby up.
It looked like a hanging breaking ball, maybe a little flat slider on the inside corner.
Ackley with 4 home runs on the season. His last home run came on 5th of May. It's against Kansas City. 1-1. Mariners have certainly had their chances here in the early going. 1-1. That's up the middle. The shortstop take it. Simmons runs to the bag, gets the force, and that will do it. Mariners threat, don't score. 5-2, Atlanta. Braves will hook up again tomorrow a little bit after noon Eastern time. And over the years, particularly in the 90s, all about playoff baseball here in Atlanta. Won the World Series in '95. Got annual participants into the playoffs in the National League. It's a heck of a run. There were times, people got jaded down here and weren't exactly packing a ballpark. I can think of several regions, if you had this kind of run, it'd be a very hard ticket to get. Yeah, they did. You could say they only won one world championship, but they're in the playoffs every year. I mean, that's what you hope for. Give yourself a chance. Here's Justin Upton to lead it off. He struck out on a 1-2 pitch for the first out in inning number 1. First 3 men reached against Ramirez.
Unfortunately, it was part of that. We got bounced when I was with the Dodgers in '96. Bounced out of here.
Oh, no, I got him on the way.
One out as Upton is retired, a comebacker. And part of the guys who put those, some of the guys who put up those flags right here, Bobby Cox, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, all going into the Hall of Fame and well earned. 4-time manager of the year. Maddux won 4 Cy's, Glavine won 2. Glavine's broadcasting tonight on Braves Baseball. 3 classy guys, 3 very successful gentlemen, and congratulations to them all. One out, and then I'll bring up catcher Evan Gattis. He muscled a home run. Pitch away from him, and you'll notice he's got an unusual style.
Breaking ball. Hit it out to right field.
That's our Columbia Bank difference of the game.
That's a unique way to hit, but it works for him. Hits the ball out to right field. For Gattis, his 12th home run of the year was a 3-run homer. Interesting story. He was out of baseball for 4 years. Braves were able to get him signed up. Cost him $1,000.
Wow. A dividend is
that worked out okay.
Yeah, I'll say. Gattis in 105 games last year, 21 homers and 65 runs batted in. Oof. About a 2-for-1 shot.
We'll take a look at the swing. Ramirez, I think, lucky to get this fastball back. Throws it right in the middle of the plate, and you're right. Paul Schreiber, the home plate umpire, ended up getting the worst of it.
Gattis can relate as a catcher. Got a full count. I don't remember anybody with a stance like this.
No. Watch him, he'll straighten his front leg. So we'll see guys leaning over that much anymore either.
Smoke towards the tarp. There's no play. Mariners trying to keep this winning streak alive. They've won 3 in a row to get a game over 500 again at 29-28. Braves 31-25. First place by 2.5 over Miami starting today. Foul ball. And the Marlins right now being no hit through 3 at home against Tampa Bay's Chris Archer. Three and 2. Past the diving Seager. Gaddis with a 3-run homer and a singles. We check in with Angie Menter. All right, Angie, thank you. Here's Chris Johnson. Third baseman. Lines one to left. Into the corner. On the move is Gaddis. He'll get to third on the double by Johnson. Taking some good hacks and made some big contact against Ramirez.
I'll take a look at the swing by Johnson. Again, you can see Buck set up away that pitch running back middle in. Johnson hits it down into the corner. Johnson last year hit .321 for the Braves. Off to a slow start this year. A matter of time before he gets it going in. Too good a hitter. Comes into the game hitting .251.
Johnson had been with Houston and Arizona last year and hit well here in Atlanta. .321 with 12 homers and 68 runs batted in. Here's Tommy La Stella.
Braves 3 for 5 with runners in scoring position tonight.
Strike one to La Stella. He got a base hit to center field first time. Oh, 2.
La Stella helping him out, chase the pitch off the plate away. Pitch borderline up. So that's a good count. I think Rick Waits and Wood McClendon would like to see him throw a couple of quality pitches off the plate. They're ahead in the count 0-2. See if you can get him to chase another pitch. Don't give him anything too good to hit right here. There you go.
On a break. Strikes him out. Third strikeout for Ramirez. 2 outs here in the third.
It's a changeup down out of the strike zone. Really good location for Ramirez on that pitch. Probably put Simmons on. You have the pitcher due up after Simmons, so that's what Buck is going to do. They're going to put him on. Gavin Floyd, the pitcher, coming out on deck.
Somebody's got to win tonight, because both of these teams are winless, I should say, winless in interleague play. 0-3 Mariners, 0-4 for the Braves. Somebody's going to get the first interleague win. And that completes the walk. Bases loaded. Gavin Floyd bounced to short. First at bat, leading off the second. We look at the National League East. Marlins having a very good year, 2.5 off the pace. Sandy Alderson, the Mets GM, said that ball club would win 90. They got some work to do. Thought the Nationals would be a lot better than just a game under 500. We'll see them later, as well as the Phillies and the Mets. Strike one to Floyd.
57 pitches for Ramirez, working here in the third.
Another breaking ball, 0-2. Ball and 2 strikes. Ramirez trying to put an end to it here in the third, getting the pitcher. Gavin Floyd, bases loaded, 2 outs. Struck him out. Needed it and got it. That's his 4th strikeout, 2nd in the inning. The Braves leave him loaded. They lead 5-2. First of 2 here in hot Atlanta, but it's not that hot tonight. Capital One Share Builder with the Seattle Mariners is proud to support and benefit Seattle Children's Hospital with its Saves for Kids program. For each Mariners saved, Capital One Share Builder will donate $1,000 to Seattle Children's Uncompensated Care Program. Capital One Share Builder Incorporated, member FINRA, FINRA, and SIPC. As they are wont to do in Major League ballparks, they had a contest here, and it was unique. I've not seen this before in all these years. They have a couple of contestants name as many American presidents as possible in, 30 seconds?
I think it was 15.
15 seconds, and they had a Brave. The Brave player won. It's impressive.
And you were impressed because?
Because he pretty much got them in order.
What was the one name, though, that you liked?
Well, here in the booth, we had a Franklin Pierce reference. I was very impressed by that.
Okay.
Because you don't get Franklin Pierce. I'm going to say, let's see, that was the 13th or 14th president. You don't get too many of those references thrown around. I tell you. There you go, Bruce. Or Kevin. I'm sorry, Kevin. Good stuff. So what do you think so far of Ramirez? I mean, has he shown?
I think it's a lot of what we've seen. I think he's made some mistakes. At times they're trying to pitch to the scouting report. You can see that John Buck has set it up on certain sides of the plate, and he's missing his locations. Yes, he's throwing strikes, but he's not throwing the quality strikes I think you want to see from him, and that's the reason why he's down in this game. Even in the last inning, he was in trouble, was able to work his way out of it. That's a good sign. But he's a command type pitcher, something that Lloyd's talked about. I mean, if you're going to be that at this level, you don't have overpowering stuff. You have to do a better job with your overall command.
John Buck to lead it off, followed by Brad Miller and Ramirez. John reached on a throwing error by Chris Johnson.
Well, that being said, the Mariners are only down 3 runs, and they have plenty of time to try to get back into this game. And fortunately, over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, they've been swinging the bats well.
One here. 2 strikes to Buck. 4-run first for Atlanta. Freeman an RBI single, 3-run homer by Gaddis. B.J. Upton a home run in the second inning. Mariners get their runs in the second inning with Miller driving in a run and Jones picking up an RBI. 2-2.
Mariners on the offensive side have had plenty of opportunities. You mentioned it. They did take advantage of an error in the second inning, turned into a couple of runs for them, but they had first and third with just one out in the first inning, didn't score, and then they had second and third with nobody out and weren't able to score.
High off the glove of Gaddis, back to the screen.
50th pitch coming up for Floyd. 31 strikes and 49 pitches.
Three-two pitch. John Buck sends it to right field for base hit. John Buck. Base hit to start the Mariner fourth. We check out our Century Link to what's next. Coming up tomorrow, Sasha Iwakuma against Mike Minor. Iwakuma 3-2, 2-3 for Minor. Opponent's hitting just 236. Good ERA for Iwakuma, 2.09.
Minor, a left-hander. Mariners have had some success against left-handed starters, so hopefully Iwakuma is on his game. He's pitched well this year. And see if they can get to Mike Minor, the lefty. Look at Brad Miller. Brad with a base hit his last time. I had a base hit and drove in a run. Eventually scored the second run for the Mariners. Able to score on a base hit by Jones.
Big yard here in Atlanta. 335 down the left field line. 330 right field. Left center field gap 380, 390. Right center and 400 straight away. Check swing, foul ball. Indians lead the Red Sox 3-1, top of the fifth inning. The game is in Cleveland. One pitch misses, 2-1.
And it looks like Ramirez, his night is going to be done. Romero's come out on deck to pinch hit for Ramirez.
Fouled off by Brad Miller.
It's Tom Wilhelmsen. Looks like Tom will take over.
Two to Brad. Pitch off the plate. Stephen Romero do some pinch hitting. Third full count by Gavin Floyd. To Brad. And he chops it foul. Miller straight away, and here comes the 3-2, and he takes it for ball 4.
And another good at bat for Brad Miller. Hopefully he's moving in the right direction. Put together 3 or 4 good games in a row for him now. And it will be Stephen Romero going to pinch hit for Ramirez. Big Tom Wilhelmsen will take over on the mound.
One for 4 for Stephen as a pinch hitter.
Well, they're making Gavin Floyd work. 14 pitches in the inning so far and hasn't recorded an out.
Not a pretty line for Ramirez. 3 innings of 8 hit, 5 run ball, all earned. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, a wild pitch, and a home. 2 homers. Chance here for the Mariners. They've got base runners again. First and second, nobody out. Romero drives one deep left center field, and it is gone. Got a tie ball game. Stephen Romero with a pinch hit home run. The first pinch hit home run for the Mariners this season. Tie ball game.
And just before that pitch was thrown by Floyd, they started to get some action out in the pen for the Braves. But Stephen Romero gets a fastball up out over the plate and hammers it out. You mentioned how big this ballpark is. Hammers it out to left center field. It's a couple of rows deep. That'll tie the game up. Mariners now 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position, and still nobody out here in the 4th inning.
Impressive. Top of the order, James Jones.
At the bottom of the lineup, Buck and Miller, and now Romero. They've scored 5 runs and driven in 4.
Howard Johnson, the hitting coach, thrilled as well as he should be. Boy, did he hit that well. Man. 1 and 2 to Jones. He's 1 for 2 today, drove in a run. They got the game even. Taking Romero. Erasmo Ramirez off the hook. Jones goes down swinging. First out of the 4th inning. Clemens got to be thrilled with that. There's Michael Saunders, couple of infield hits, 2 for 2. Mariners' first pinch hit home run of the season.
Good night for Saunders. Has his average up to 290. A 2 for 2 night for Michael.
Identical numbers on the board right now. 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 4 left for both the Braves and the Mariners.
Alex Wood, left-hander, getting loose.
On 1 to Saunders. Tom Wilhelmsen
is ready to go.
Figure he's going to get probably 2 innings.
He will pitch until his turn to hit comes around.
That's right, National League.
Yep.
So used to the American League, I'm figuring a gimme 2, right?
Yeah. Maybe, but that's one of the bad news is that your starter is run after 3 innings, and so.
Yeah, that's real bad news.
Yeah.
1-2 pitch. And Saunders swings through. Back-to-back Ks here for Floyd. 2 outs. And 3 strikeouts in the game. Robinson Cano's having a good night. Single and a double. Single to center and a double to right center. Braves have won 3 consecutive games, and so have the Mariners, and they're tied up here 5-5. The last few stops, talking to people and say, how's Cano doing? They say he's doing fine. He's just not hitting home runs. He's doing everything else, and then some. Coming off the injured left hand. He's certainly swinging the bat well tonight.
Well, they're in the first week of June, and he has a .333 batting average. I think I'll take that.
Get in line. Side. Cano starting the day, number 2 hitter in the American League, behind only Victor Martinez. Victor at .335. Cano started at .327. 1-2.
Captain Floyd having to throw a lot of pitches. 71 pitches, 44 strikes, 28 in this inning.
Also started tonight tied for 6th in hits with Kinsler. 68. He's already added 2 more. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Is that a play? Against right-handed pitchers, Cano, .328 batting average started tonight behind Miguel Cabrera and Alexi Ramirez. Stephan Romero off the bench, pinch hitting for starter Erasmo Ramirez. 1-0 count, hits a 3-run homer to tie it up here in the 4th inning. Full count to Cano. Kyle Seager waiting his turn. Two to Cano. Deep left field. Upton back on the track, feeling for the wall, and he makes the catch. And that'll do it. The Mariners get 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. They tied the ball game at 5-5. As we play the bottom of the 4th inning at Turner Field, our Seattle City Light power play. How about Stephan Romero off the bench, pinch hitting for Erasmo Ramirez? Kaboom!
Well, one of the things that they teach you is when you come off the bench, find a fastball you like early in the count and turn it loose, and that's exactly what Stephan Romero does. Ties this game up. For Ramirez, tough night. 3 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. He threw 60 pitches, 37 of those for strikes.
Mariners' last pinch hit home run last September 5. Raul Ibanez got it done.
Tom Wilhelmsen will take over his 24th appearance on the year. 0-1 record, ERA just over 3, 25 strikeouts and 26 2/3. Opponents hitting 200 off of Tom. And he will get top of the lineup for the Braves. Hayward, B.J. Upton, and Freeman do well.
Braves come into tonight's game 14th in runs per game at .346, 12th in batting, 13th in runs, 12th in hits, 6th in homers. And only 2 more teams have struck out more than they have. Dodgers and the Cardinals. Power hitting strikeout team. Burner there to Miller. Off the bat of Haywood. And Hayward's out. One down. Bring up BJ Upton. He's had a good night. 2 for 2. Stolen base and a home run.
Take a look at the home run. It's a breaking ball in the middle of the plate, and he lines it out to center field right over the corner football.
Strike one from Big Tom.
For Upton, that was his 5th home run of the year.
BJ, first time we're seeing him with the glasses. He went to them about a month ago. Came into tonight's action hitting just .216. The start wasn't that good. It's foul. 2-2.
Tom has a good fastball tonight. Last couple of fastballs are right at 96 miles an hour. Also mix in a cutter at about 90. Good 12-6 curveball and a changeup to left-handed hitters.
Breaking ball, got him. So Tom Wilhelmsen sharp. Strikes out Upton. 2 outs here in the 4th.
Tom had lost the feel of that good curveball for a period of time, but it looks like it's back now. 79 miles an hour. You can see the 12-6 action on it. Ends up down just below the strike zone, and he gets up there well out in front of this pitch to get the strikeout.
Brings up Freddie Freeman. RBI single to right and lined out to shortstop.
Looked like the cutter.
Great looking sky above as we watch the sun set. Last time we were here in 08, temperatures were roasting hot. Very comfortable here today. 1-1.
Good pitch.
Sure was. Tom came in. Where was that? Paul Schreiber, home plate umpire. Three and one. Foul. And off again. 3-2. Okay,
that's a. Tom went back with the cut fastball, trying to get it in on Freeman's hands, and he hooks it over the Brave dugout.
Here's everybody's okay. Wow. Three and two. And he walks it. Bring up Justin Upton. Strikeout and a comeback into the pitcher.
Having a good year. 297 average with 13 home runs.
Justin's second year here in Atlanta. 263 last year. 27 home runs and 70 runs batted in. Best home run total year 2011. He went for 31 and 88 runs batted in. Upton coming over from Arizona with Chris Johnson, Martin Prado, Randall Delgado, 3 others. January of 2012. 0-1. And the big April last year, and cooled off the remainder of the season. Ball to Seager. It's a foul ball. 0-2 to Upton.
And Tom, over the last couple of weeks, has looked like his old self again. Yeah. He's got a good fastball. He's topped out at 97 today, and looks like he has a much better feel for his curveball, which has been his best pitch.
Mind's eye, he's been throwing a lot more first pitch strikes too.
Well, he's going back to his fastball again. At times his fastball has been dominant, and I think he got away with it, working out that cutter and his changeup and some other things that he was trying to figure out. But now he's throwing more fastballs.
3 of 4 first pitch fastballs, and that was gorgeous. Talk about yakety yak. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Big Tom. He strands a runner. 5-5 ball game. By T-Mobile, sponsoring Tuesday night baseball. We're in Atlanta, first of 2, an afternoon affair tomorrow. Gorgeous sky. Look at this sunset here in Georgia. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports crew. Mariners, after a shaky start, got a huge home run. Stephen Romero pinch hit 3-run home in the 4th inning to tie this ball game at 5-5.
Gavin Floyd staying in the game. He had to throw a lot of pitches last inning, but he'll stay in. And the middle of the lineup. 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Mariners. Seager, Smoke, and Ackley do up. Kyle 0 for 2 tonight.
Ball 1 to Kyle. Strikeout and reached on a fielder's choice. The ball hard through the box, snagged by Floyd. A couple of runners on, and Michael Saunders thought, as would anybody, thought that ball was going through, and Floyd threw to third and picked him off. Here's a ground ball through the hole, cut off. Estella, nice ball. One down here in the Mariner 5th. And this Father's Day, hit the game and then hit the grill. That's right. Take Dad to Safeco Field June 15th, and the Mariners face the Rangers at 1:10. And the first 10,000 dads 21 and older are going to take home a Mariners barbecue spatula thanks to EQC. Pick up your Father's Day tickets for the whole family at mariners.com. One out, that'll bring up Justin Smoke. 0 for 2, popped out the short. Then on a 3-0 count, couple of men aboard, and a third, fouled out the third. And he takes breaking ball for a strike. Doubled up and missed this time, 1-1.
Next pitch will be 80 for Floyd.
He's living in that inner third. And Smoke.
Justin, his last at bat, ended up getting into a 3-0 count, and Floyd threw him a fastball in the middle of the plate. I see 80 pitches, 50 strikes, and Justin was late on the fastball. Popped it up to third.
2-2.
Pretty good pitch from Floyd. Didn't get the call.
Two outs here in the 5th inning. That's 4 strikeouts for Gavin Floyd.
Well, Dave said he just stays inside. This is a good fastball from Floyd. 92 miles an hour on the inside corner as Justin swings over the top of it. All 5 pitches right in that area.
Bring up Dustin Ackley. These Braves have won 3 in a row. They swept at Miami. And this after losing a 4-game 2-2 set to the Boston Red Sox home and away. That's a heck of a play by La Stella. You can hear Marlon Brando screaming right now, La Stella! Nice play. Going behind the bag to retire Ackley. They get photobombed by a Braves fan. Come on. What are you doing? Atta, baby. Fly the colors. Mariners are in Atlanta. As we take a look at the Mariner calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Play Atlanta again tomorrow, 12:10 start time locally. Day off Thursday. Tampa Bay for 4, and then the long diagonal flight back home. Take on the Yankees. Texas, San Diego. I'm going to load a few more movies.
Going to need them.
Wolf of Wall Street wasn't bad coming in. Matter of fact, it was better than I thought it was going to be honest with you. The movie review section of this ball game brought to you by. How about this guy here? Evan Gattis. Home run and a single.
How about Tom? That will help. Some strong inning for him. Back out there again.
Well, this is a good matchup for him then.
Yeah, this will be his last inning. His spot is due up third. On top of the 6th inning, so there'll be a pinch hitter there.
What'd you say about how strong Gattis was?
Country strong. Out the game for 4 years too.
Kindred spirit. Tom was out for a period of time.
Well, from what I understand, he was dealing with some depression issues and trying to figure things out. And was given a second chance to get back in the game, decided to take it, and things have worked out great for him and the Braves.
Also, I was walking by the batting cage. Hey, how are you? What's your name? Hey, I'm Evan. I was like, hey, what's up, man? It's very cool.
Yeah. That's what everybody has said about him, too.
Yeah.
And he has some real power in that bat.
Ball's out of play.
And McCann, the catcher that had been here, the All-Star, moved on to New York. Braves are able to let him go because they have Gattis. Scout report on Gattis is that he's a better thrower and blocks the ball better at home plate, but maybe not up to speed as far as McCann goes in calling a game yet, but he'll get there.
3-2. Gattis, Chris Johnson, and Tommy La Stella here in the 5th. Tom thought he had it.
EQC tracing the pitch down out of the strike zone.
Second walk issued by Tom Wilhelmsen.
And we'll take another look at it. Didn't want to challenge him 3-2, so he throws a breaking ball in the dirt. Chris Johnson. Johnson with a double down in the left field corner his last time up. He's 1 for 2.
Infield double play depth. Ball 1. Good heater at 95.
He's topped out at 97 today. I think for Tom, he went through a stretch there where he was struggling, and we were talking about his curveball earlier, but he wasn't using his fastball as much. And then when he tried to go back to it, his velocity was down some, but now he's throwing more fastballs, and you can see his velocity's jumped back up. He's 95, 97, and he has been over the last few weeks.
Hit to right. First and second for the Braves here in the 5th. 2-hit night. Chris Johnson.
It's like the cutter. No stride at all for Johnson. He was fooled on the pitch a little bit. Was able to keep his hands back and take advantage of the hole on the right side of the infield. Bring up La Stella. Stella 1 for 2, had a base hit his first time out. So a strikeout swing. Kyle Seager playing in on the grass at third, expecting a bunt.
Wilhelmsen checks the runner's pitch. Swing. Strike one. Two men aboard, nobody out. And Tom gets ahead 0-2.
And another good fastball right on the outside corner. So two good pitches to La Stella. And with a couple of strikes, Kyle will back up at third base.
Tom ready with the 0-2. Comebacker. The throw to third, throw to first, safe. We got the lead runner.
I'm surprised. I thought Tom would turn around
So
and
did
throw
I.
the ball to second, get the double play that way, but every now and then they get a little confused out on the mound. Tom turns and throws the ball quickly to Seager. Luckily, Kyle was going to cover, because most of the time the pitcher will spin and throw the ball to second, try to get the double play that way, which he probably gets. They do get the lead runner, but still a couple of runners on.
You ever been caught by a pitcher to play like that? Because like you said, most times you're looking for the guy turn to third.
No, I can think of just one time that the pitcher actually did that and threw the ball over there, which surprised me, but luckily I was moving in the right direction.
Yeah. Dan Uglow on deck to pitch hit. You were the most surprised man in the ballpark when that happened, right?
Oh, I was. And the thing about it, too, because you're just not used to it on that side, is
Right.
you're not sure where he's going to throw it. Because as a third baseman, you're used to them spinning around throwing you the ball
Right.
on bunt plays.
Right.
But you're expecting that, and all of a sudden you're on the move because you have to move back with two strikes. We just talked about Kyle moving back, so he has to run and get to the base, and you're not sure where they're going to throw it. It was a good throw by Tom.
And what he's going to have on it.
Right.
Oh, jeez. 0-1. This is what you're looking for. Double play. Get him out of trouble in the fifth. Keep this score tied at 5-5. Doctor's orders right here. Yes, tailor-made. Miller to Cano. Over to Smoke. ball game. Mariners tied it up on a 3-run pinch hit homer by Stephan Romero back in the 4th inning after Erasmo Ramirez got roughed up for 5 runs early on. Tom Wilhelmsen has thrown 2 scoreless innings of 1-hit ball, 4th and 5th inning.
They pitched well, 30 pitches to get through it. Dominic Leone getting loose in the pen now for the Mariners. And Gavin Floyd only 8 pitches in the 5th inning, so he will go back out and pitch here in the 6th.
Mariners still have the bottom third of the order. John Buck, Brad Miller, and a pinch hitter for the pitcher spot. John Buck reached on a throwing error by third baseman Chris Johnson and came around and scored, and he singles to center here to start the Mariners' 6th. Got a base hit to right leading off the 4th and scored on the Romero homer.
Well, it'll be interesting if Brad Miller, as you take a look at the swing by Buck, solid line drive into center field. If Brad Miller can reach how Lloyd McClendon wants to play it, and maybe there's a pitcher that he can send up there to bunt for him. Because right now you look at the Mariners bench, you have Zunino. You really prefer not to go to him, especially at this point in the game. And then you have Willie Bloomquist, Andy Chavez available, but who knows with those guys,
sure,
if you're going to need them a little bit later. And it looks like Andy Chavez will come out on deck. And I think just thinking along those lines, why not? Chris Young gets his helmet back. Chris played some National League baseball. He certainly maybe can go up there and get a bunt down for him as opposed to wasting a position player.
Luis Avilan leading up. 1-0 here to Brad Miller. Hit hard, base hit. How about these Mariners?
And I think we're going to see, I think, maybe a pitcher trying to drop down a bunt. Nope, he's going to go with Indy.
How about that? I thought for sure when you said you saw Chris Young, I thought that would be the call, but to bring up Indy.
Well, Chris had his helmet and his bat in his hand, but I think right now he's going to go with Indy Chavez. And we're going to get a pitching change.
Brad Miller, his 2nd hit. He's 2 for 2 with a walk and an RBI, 2 runs scored. John Buck, 2 for 3, 2 runs scored. So the 7 and 8 hole hitters have done quite well. Chris Young, that in his hand, but didn't get a chance to use it here. Gavin Floyd, done after 86 pitches, leaves in a tied ball game, but the runners on base, his responsibility. Men on and nobody out.
And for Gavin Floyd, 5+ innings for him. Gave him 10 hits, 5 runs, 3 of them earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 86 pitches for Floyd. Luis Avilan, the left-hander, is going to take over for the Braves. Pitched well for the Braves last year. 5-0 record with a 1.5 ERA. This year, this will be his 29th appearance, 3-1 record, ERA at 4.5. 14 strikeouts in 18 innings. He's walked 9, and opponents hitting .296 off of him. And it will be Indy Chavez pinch hitting.
Look at the Mariner box score. The hitters in the 1 through 3 portion on the lineup, 5 for 9. The 4 through 6 hitters are 0 for 9. And the bottom third, they're 5 for 6. Got to get the guys in the middle on this gravy train here. 1-0 to Indy. Two and 0 to Indy.
And with Indy Chavez up there, gives Lloyd McClendon a lot of options here. A veteran guy, knows how to play the game. See if he keep the bunt on 2-0. Sometimes he'll take it off and let him swing.
Two and 1.
And the biggest reason why you let him do that is because you have the corner infielders way in. You have holes all over the infield because they're trying to cheat to protect against the bunt.
Gets the bunt down, makes the third baseman field it. Finally executed by Indy Chavez, pro's pro. It's like 5-4.
We're going to have another pinch hitter. Take a look at it. Perfect bunt from Indy Chavez. Makes the third baseman come get it. That way Buck, who was at second, can just walk to third. And Willie Bloomquist now is, Cole Gillespie is going to pinch hit for James Jones.
Welcome to another night of National League Baseball, everybody. Cole Gillespie can help the cause big time here. Runners at second and third, 1 out.
He's had success as a pinch hitter. .292 batting average, a couple of RBIs, 2 doubles.
Here's the second Oregon State Beaver to swing the bat tonight. Romero tied it. 3-run homer in the 4th. Strike 1 to Cole.
The Mariners tonight 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
John Buck, Brad Miller, the runners, 1 out. Inside off the plate, 1-1.
With Gillespie hitting and Indy Chavez bunting and Romero already hit, that leaves Zunino and Willie Bloomquist on the bench for Lloyd McClendon.
Chance to do some damage here. 5-5 ball game, second and third, 1 out. 1-1 pitch. 2-1.
Michael Saunders on deck. Two for 3 night for Saunders. A couple of infield hits, had a bunt base hit and then hit a ball off the pitcher's leg and was able to beat it out for a hit.
Here we go, 2-1. 3-1. Advantage Gillespie. Saunders waits. 3-1. And he walked it. Bases loaded. This opportunity could not get more golden here. A hot hitter, Michael Saunders, coming to the plate with the bases loaded.
Oh. You can see what Saunders has done since the 16th of May, a .365 average, 8 extra base hits, picked up 18 RBIs and slugging .673. He's been hot.
In a National League ballpark, when McClendon going to his bench a lot earlier than he probably would have in the American League game. Saunders bouncing ball goes foul.
Yeah. Well, Ramirez just going 3 innings.
Yeah.
Giving up the 5 runs.
Six runs batted in so far this season with the bases loaded. 1 career slam.
Talked a lot about the Braves and their pitching for good reason. Again, they're first in ERA in the National League, but they've been in trouble in just about every inning. The only clean inning for the Braves tonight was the 5th. Gavin Floyd throwing just 8 pitches and had a 1-2-3 inning. Other than that, the Mariners have had runners in scoring position all night.
Avilan is not sharp. Needs to throw a strike. See what Saunders can do with it. Here's the 1-1 with the bases loaded, 1 out. John Buck paying attention, had to get down. Stay fouling, get down. Ball 2 strikes. Gaddis going out for a word. Rudy Gonzalez on the left, Carlos Tosca, bench coach, on the right. McClendon looking for a base hit. Saunders 1-2. Takes ball 2. Two pitch. Do it again.
See all those pitches down in the zone. Amelon trying to get a ground ball, see if he can get a double play, get off the field. And he's making some quality pitches to Saunders.
Pitch to Saunders. Struck him out. 2 away. Mike struck out his last 2 times up.
Again, it's a fastball down and on the inside corner, trying to keep the ball on the ground, and Saunders swings through it. That'll bring up Robinson Cano. Cano 2 for 3 tonight. Base hit in the first, a double in the third, and then flew out up against the fence to left field his last time up. That was in the 4th inning.
Can't pitch around Cano, not with the bases loaded. So he can charge one up here. Put the Mariners in front. Never led. They tied it up in the 4th. Oh, number off the fist. Mariners leaving loaded in the 6th. The Braves on the edge of their seats. And in a good defensive position, it could not capitalize. 5-5 ball game. squandered an opportunity, leaving the bases loaded. But Tom Wilhelmsen, one of the highlights in this game so far.
Good curveball tonight, topped out at 97 miles an hour. They needed Tom to go a couple of innings, and you can see the curveball is back for him. At one point, that was his go-to pitch, but really did a good job tonight. Helped out by his defense with a double play. Tom excited about it. He pitched well tonight.
Dominic Leone's going to take over for the Mariners. He'll be their third pitcher here tonight. And some other changes.
It looks like Leone will go in the leadoff spot. Gillespie had come on as a pinch hitter. He's now out of the game. Andy Chavez will stay in the game. He pinch hit in the 9 spot, and he'll take over in center field. So Chavez hitting 9. Leone now in the leadoff spot.
So all kinds of juggling when you play in the National League. The Mariners 0-3 against the National League. The Braves 0-4 against American League competition. Mariners on the night with that, leaving the bases loaded. How about that? That's 7 LOBs tonight.
Well, they've had a lot of opportunities, and now it's going to be up to Dominic Leone to keep the game where it's at. A 1.5 ERA for Dominic. He has really pitched well. Dave, you go back to it, first and third in the first inning with 1 out. They did not score. Second and third with nobody out in the third did not score. And then that last situation that we had didn't come up with anything. Yep. So they've had some opportunities tonight and haven't been able to cash them in.
Jordan Schaefer pinch hitting for the pitcher in the 9 hole as we lead off here in the 6th. Bunt taking it right down the smoke. They'll get the tag, 1 out. So quick out here in the bottom of the 6th. Just joining us, Erasmo Ramirez got the start, got rocked for 5 runs on 6 hits in the first 2 innings. 4-run first for the Braves. RBI by Freeman. 3-run homer by Gaddis. 2nd inning, solo blast by Upton. Mariners come back in the 2nd inning. RBIs by Jones and Miller. And then the big one, a pinch hit 3-run homer in the 4th by Stephan Romero. Tied it at 5-5. Back to the top of the order. Here's Hayward.
For those that are wondering, don't get to see a lot of National League baseball in the Pacific Northwest. The reason why they have that double shift and they do that is they want to put the pitcher in a spot where it takes longer for that spot to come back up again, so they don't have to waste another player. And that's basically the reason why they do it. And the reason why Dave's scorebook over there is a mess right now as he's writing all these names in and figuring all this out.
It's en route. Calling in the hieroglyphics expert from the Smithsonian. Be here any minute.
But they do it. They're just trying to delay the pitcher's spot coming up to hit again. That's the reason why Chavez stays in the game.
1-1 to Hayward. So Ramirez gives the Mariners 3 innings. Wilhelmsen 2. Now Leone has pitched quite well. Young man,
I'll say.
Being called up early on. Tell you what, he developed a lot of faith put in him by the skipper Lloyd McClendon.
It didn't take long.
Yeah, jumped out and it came in throwing fastballs, not messing around.
Wasn't scared, just going right after it. Yeah.
Jay Upton on deck. Hayward has one of the wider stances we're going to see. And again, we're going to see the Braves in Seattle. That'll be the 5th and 6th of August. Tuesday, Wednesday, a night game and a day game. We'll see more National League action later that month, going to Philadelphia. Cano makes it look easy. Throws out Hayward. 2 away. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Good to have you with us here in Atlanta. Dave Sims, Mike Blowers, Root Sports Crew in a 5-5 ball game. Mariners trying to win their 4th game. Braves, they're on a 3-game win streak as well.
B.J. Upton with a couple outs will stand in. He's having a good night, 2 for 3. He hit his 5th home run back in the 2nd inning. Scored a couple of runs.
This swing looked longer since the last time we saw him in Tampa.
It looks about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has an open stance now. He wasn't quite as open when he was in Tampa, but
Leon ahead 0-2. Andy Chavez about 4 or 5 steps towards right center for BJ. Braves right now, they start the day 2.5 on top of Miami, 3.5 on top of the Mets. Mariners in the American League West, 3rd place, tied with Texas. Here's the 0-2. Got him looking, and no protest from Upton. A 1-2-3 inning thrown by Leon. 5-5 ball game. Insurance. Bad luck can hit anyone. Insure with the 13th man. Burn Bonk Insurance. By Seattle City Light. Visit seattle.gov/WePower for more information. By Money Tree. Proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. And by 5 Hour Energy. Recognizes those who, despite their own needs, put others first. Bank of America building in the pink. Here, as we look at the skyline of the great city of Atlanta. First of 2. Mariners and the Braves right now locked up at 5-5.
Alex Wood will take over for the Braves. Another left-hander. For the Mariners, a lot of opportunity tonight for Wood. His 16th appearance on the year, a 3.32 ERA. 59 strikeouts, 57 innings. Big number, only 14 walks. Opponent hitting 274. He has given up 6 home runs this year.
A couple of notes from the American League West. Mike Trout missed a couple of games with a bad back. He had to leave tonight's game with some back stiffness. And Matt Harrison of the Rangers underwent back surgery, most likely done for the year. Kyle Seager. Strikeout, reaching a fielder's choice and a bounce to second. All right, how'd you do against these funky deliveries?
Well, if they were left-handed, it was fine, Dave. I didn't care for it when they had that kind of delivery when they were going right-handed.
Right? Yeah. 3-4 herky-jerky moves. time called. Another health note from the American League West. Josh Hamilton returned to the Angels this evening. Remember, he injured his thumb on a headfirst dive into first base trying to beat out a infield hit.
That was at Safeco.
Sure was. After, remember, he got up to the great start.
Yeah.
Dives headfirst into first. Done till today. That was mid-April. Strike three called. One out. We're checking with Angie Minton. All right, Angie, thank you. Good hearing those reports from High Desert. Here's Justin Smoke, 0 for 3. A couple of pop outs and a strikeout. Line drive, center field. In his tracks, B.J. Upton 2-0. All right, here we go. Your last chance to win an exciting prize just by interacting with us on Twitter for tonight's final question. Use hashtag RootQ5 and tell us what will be the combined runs, hits, and errors for the Mariners tonight for your chance to win an autographed baseball signed by Kyle Seager. Breaking ball to Ackley for a strike. Justin 0 for 3. Guys in the middle of the order struggling, 0 for 11. Top third and the bottom third of the order have done all of production for the Mariners tonight.
And a big part of that, Stephen Romero, if you miss it, a pinch hit 3-run home run for Romero. Came in the 4th inning, tied the game up.
2-1 pitch. Ackley with a 3-1 count. John Buck on deck. Fouled it into the glove of Gaddis. Full count. Three-two pitch. Hold over on it. Foot race. Freeman didn't get him. So base hit. Two-out opportunity here for the Mariners. John Buck has had a good night. 2 runs scored. He's 2 for 3.
A swinging bunt from Ackley. Freeman, I think, probably should have just kept coming towards the ball and tried to get it earlier, but he decided to sit back on it, and Ackley outran it, pick up an infield hit.
There's John Buck, single to right and a single to center his last 2 times up. John lets him strike.
Chris Johnson, the third baseman, playing right on the line. Trying to take the double away. The outfielders are all deep.
With that hit by Ackley, middle of the order, 4, 5, and 6 men are combined 1 for 12. The top part of the order, 5 for 11. The 7 through 9 hitters, 5 for 6. Buck's got a 1-1 count. 2. John looking for his first Mariner home run. 15 home runs last year with the Mets before he was traded to Pittsburgh. 2-1. Hit well, deep right field, going back, Hayward, there it is, his first Mariner home run. John Buck puts the Mariners in front, 7-5 with his first blast of the year.
I guess you just had to talk him into it, Dave.
There's Oppo with it as well.
I think it's an off-speed pitch. It's up, out over the plate, and he goes with it. Again, this is a big ballpark, but tremendous carry on this. Let's take a look at it. Looked like a changeup up, probably belt high on the outside corner.
The Mariners have the lead. See if they can continue to build on it. They got a bullpen. Health-wise, rest-wise is in great shape. And good to see a big smile on John Buck's face. Brad Miller 2 for 2, 2 runs scored. Charlie Furbush starting to heat up. To the second baseman, LaStella. And Brad Miller's retired. Highlight of this inning, a 2-out, 2-run homer by John Buck, his first as a Mariner. Ride, Captain, ride. 7-5 Mariners. Washington's lottery and the Department of Imagination. What would you do if you won? 7:15, the hammer. Henry Aaron, he broke the home run record, not in this ballpark, but in the old ballpark across the street. Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. We mentioned put in a request to see Mr. Aaron, who broke that record back on April 8th, 1974. Pitcher was Al Downing, the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I was watching a clip of that again recently. One of the reporters who was running up to meet the hammer at home plate, Craig Sager, and I hope Craig is in good health, is recovering. He's been under the weather the last few months. Great reporter on Turner Broadcasting. And one of my all-time favorites, Dusty Baker, was on deck. Freddie Freeman leading off, Justin Upton and Evan Gattis to follow here in the home seventh. John Buck has just put the Mariners ahead 7-5, his first Mariner home run.
Well, he's had a good night. Again, I think Zunino will be back in the lineup tomorrow afternoon, but Buck getting the call tonight. He is 3 for 4. He's been on base all 4 times. He's scored 3 runs and driven in 2.
Have a night, big fella. 1-1. See, Freeman looked like he was ready to pull the trigger there. Held up and called strike 2. Dominic Leone pitched a 1-2-3-6. Third pitcher used tonight by Lloyd McClendon.
And this will be his last inning. Pitcher spot due up second in the top of the 8th. Medina, Furbish both getting loose in the pen for the Mariners.
One-two pitch. Got it. That's a big strikeout for Dominic Leone. Back-to-back Kings. One down here in the 7th.
Good hard slider down and in. Freeman, real good command of the strike zone. Typically he won't chase pitches, but this pitch, a hard slider down out of the strike zone to get the strikeout of the leadoff hitter.
They'll bring up Justin Upton. Strikeout, Tapper to the pitcher, and strikeout.
You're right about it being a big out to get Freeman, because now you run into the power. Justin Upton, 13 home runs this year. Evan Gattis right behind him with 12. Gattis has already homered in this game.
It's clean catch by a fan, mezzanine level. Pitch outside from Leone coming up tomorrow. Sashi Iwakuma against Mike Minor. Mariners on Thursday. And then in Tampa Bay, Chris Young, Eric Bedard, Rowanus Elias against Alex Cobb, Felix Hernandez against Chris Archer. And Upton looks at that strike for strike 2. And then coming up on Monday, pitcher to be named later, and he'll be opposed by David Price. How about the gym he threw in Seattle?
A lot of fastballs in that outing. We'll see if the Mariners can adjust to it. He pitched inside to him. A lot of good fastballs from Price.
2-2. You think of Price and Big Papi getting into it the other day? Yeah, they've been some words.
They're both great for the game. They're both stars in the game. Let's just let it go, guys.
I'm with you. Two good guys too.
Yeah, yeah.
Got heated. They're both, alpha dogs out there. David evidently, from a little bit I saw, but still hacked off at Big Papi for. He took him deep in the playoffs last year.
Kelly showed him up.
Took him an hour and a half to round the bases on the home run. Got him in the hip. Then it went downhill from there.
Yeah.
Two pitch. Strike 3 called. Dominic Leone snuck that fastball in there. Got him. He struck out 3 consecutive hitters now. 2 down here in the 7th.
Upton didn't like the call. He thought it was inside. It's right on the edge. A couple of pitches in there that were called strikes, and he didn't like either one of them.
Mariners number 2 in ERA to only Oakland. Strength of this ball club, which comes in a 3-game win streak. 29 wins, 28 losses. There's Gattis, 3-run homer, single and a walk. He's not trying to work any counts, is he?
No. No, he's not. big, strong man. He has a short swing, too.
One home run he hit in the first inning, first pitch. Fastball away. Boom.
There wasn't much doubt about that. Was going out of the ballpark. Strong.
One. That's a good pitch.
He's had a good slider tonight. Best part is he's been able to locate it. You can see right there on the EQC tracer at the knees and on the outside corner.
Athletics have just come back to tie the Yankees 1-1 top 5 in New York. A's with a 4.5 game lead on the Angels starting tonight. Ball and 2 strikes to Gaddis. Up high for ball 2. Rangers and Orioles 1-1 top 6. That's down in Arlington. Angels Astros 5-0 Astros. As Gaddis swings, misses. Throw down the first. John Buck completes the play. How about Dominic Leone? Strikes out this side. Has struck out the last 4 men that he's faced. Mariners lead 7-5. Sometimes you have a feeling, Mike.
Well, Dave Sims, you did. You said it was time for him to hit his first home run as a Mariner, and right here, right on time, a tie ball game 5-5. That puts the Mariners up a couple of runs with his first home run of the year. Good night for John Buck. 3 for 4 tonight. Driven in a couple of runs and scored 3 runs. He is the difference in this game. Mariners with the lead moving into the 8th inning. It'll be Indy Chavez. He came on as a pinch hitter, hitting in the 9 spot, and it looks like Willie Bloomquist is going to hit for Dominic Leone, the pitcher, in the leadoff spot, and then it'll be Saunders.
Indy Chavez all over the highlights last night with that great catch at Yankee Stadium, running hard towards the left field line, a diving catch. Felix Hernandez gave him the big salute. Indy line drive or hopper down to third baseman. Pardon Johnson. Here's Angie Mentik, 1 down. Angie. All right, Angie, thank you. Here's Willie Bloomquist pinch hitting for Leon.
So for the Mariners, Mike Zunino, the only one available on the bench for Lloyd McClendon.
Really had a good homestand, with Cano missing 4 games. Bloomquist had some big plays in it.
Drove in some big runs for
yes,
the Mariners.
He did. One game he drove in 2 of the 3 runs the Mariners scored. And an RBI double against Detroit on Sunday. Went 2 for 3 in that game. On Saturday, he led off and went 2 for 4. June 27th is the new 4th of July. Mariners once again lighting up the sky overhead this season. Seattle City Lights Mariners Fireworks Night, presented by Move-In 92.5. Fans are going to enjoy a fantastic fireworks show following the Mariners game against the Indians on June 27th. For tickets, go to mariners.com. Michael Saunders, strike 1 to him. Good week for Willie Bloomquist. Saunders 2 infield hits and 2 strikeouts tonight. Did not go as it checked down to Ted Barrett. Full count to Saunders. 2 outs, nobody on. Mariners by 2. Top of the 8th. In a right center field, Hayward is there. Wood gets out of it. Potential extra bases. Good play by Hayward in right center field. Mariners lead 7-5. Bottom of the 8th inning, and make sure you ride with all your fans on Sound Transit and enjoy freedom from traffic and parking. Plan your next trip. Visit soundtransit.org. Coming up tomorrow, quick 2-game set. CenturyLink link to what's next. We get to look at Hisashi Iwakuma taking on young left-hander Mike Minor. And Iwakuma is a guy that the Braves have not seen. And that's going to be very interesting for them, the way he has been pitching this last month. Danny Farquhar takes over in the mound for the Mariners.
24th appearance on the air. 1-1 record for Danny. 2.81 ERA. 27 strikeouts and 25 2/3. Opponents hitting just .219 off of Farquhar. So he will pitch here in the 8th inning. At the bottom of the order, Johnson, La Stella, and Simmons duo.
Bullpen's been good tonight. Wilhelmsen and Leone to this point.
Leone in the 7th inning, 3 strikeouts in the 7th. Ended up with 4 strikeouts over the 2 innings he pitched.
4 in a row. Impressive. Third baseman Chris Johnson.
For Danny, a good fastball. He'll be 93 to 95 miles an hour. And also use a cutter that'll be 89, 90. And of course, a 12-6 curveball. Good cut fastball right off the outside corner.
Count even at 1-1. Good movement tonight by Danny Farquhar.
And good location. Both those pitches right on the outside corner.
Former Mariner Anthony Vivara. Cup of coffee with the Mariners back in 2010. Ooh, what a save by Buck. Mariners have won 3 consecutive ball games, their best win streak since back in early May when they took 5 consecutive ball games, beat Houston for 2 and Oakland for 3. And out of the gate, you remember, and Anaheim won the first 3 ball games. Chavez in center field. 4 or 5 steps towards right center for Johnson. Pitch. Hammered line drive coming on Ackley. 1 down.
Stella, he is 1 for 3. Now he had a base hit. Ended up going all the way around third. James Jones with an error. And a strikeout into a fielder's choice in the 5th. So his 4th at bat coming up.
Braves started out hot, swinging that bat. 8 for 15. Mariner pitching. Taken over since then.
Now their bullpen. Bullpen's been outstanding for the Mariners this year. And they've been dominant again tonight.
Wish he'd had a quicker hand. Base hit for La Stella. 1 out, 1 on, and bring up Edgerton Simmons. Never the competitor. Thought he had it.
Thought he had it.
Simmons tonight a strikeout, intentional walk, and bounced into a double play. And that's a wild pitch. Simmons representing the tying run.
This is just a cut fastball, and he throws it over into the batter's box. 89 miles an hour.
Heard a lot of this during the 90s for the playoff runs.
Looking at some of the numbers up here in the stadium: Maddox, Glavine, Bobby Cox, John Smoltz, Chipper Jones.
There's Charlie Furbush getting ready. Upstairs, 2-0.
There's the veteran John Buck out to the mound talking to Danny Farquhar. Now Lauren the pundit going to make a trip out to the mound.
Refocus type of situations. Now to pitch this guy, let's go get him. As we know, Lloyd very much out of the Jim Leyland school. Jimmy's, I love that 2 years ago. I don't know much about pitching, but I know what I want to say. I get in, get out. He was after Detroit. He was after like 15 seconds one time.
I would say most of the time it's not a friendly message either.
Yeah, you don't want to get this guy riled up. The 2-0 count has him riled up. Trying to get Farquhar focused in. Is this playable? Looks like it is. Smoke, he's there, makes the play. Big out.
A really good play by Smoke. He's able to drift over there, and he does a smart thing. He looks to find the railing, see where he's at, knows he has some room, finds the railing, and makes the catch. Good play.
The old days when there were no, and that's not that long ago, when there were no railings there, that would have really been a difficult catch.
Ryan Doman going to pinch hit for the Braves.
We saw Doman last year. I think he hit a home run as a Twin in Minnesota against the Mariners.
Rick Waite's pitching coach. Doman on the air, hitting .203 with a home run and 7 RBIs.
Doman can catch, play first base. He is, remember, from Moses Lake, Washington. Switch hitter. Batting .212, left-handed. 1-1. This pitch by Farquhar is ahead 1-2.
He's gone with a couple of off-speed pitches.
Lloyd's club up by 2, and Farquhar trying to get out of a jam here. 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. Danny Farquhar comes up big here in the 8th inning. Strands a runner at second. Strikes out the tough pitch hitter Doman as he refocuses after a conversation with the skipper. 7-5 Mariners. Danny threw a heck of a pitch to get Doma to end the bottom of the 8th inning. Hey, make sure you join us on June 24th during the Red Sox versus Mariners game for the 2014 Mariners Root Sports Tele-Auction. Bid on fun, unique items like a pregame party in Edgar's Cantina with Edgar himself or a private dinner for 2 on home plate. All proceeds benefit Mariners Care, so circle the calendar for June 24th, Mariners Root Sports Tele-Auction. We look at our Subway in-game box score. Middle of the order, struggling. Bottom of the order, how about Buck Miller, Romero with a 3-run homer? They've been something else.
Well, they have been. You take a look at the bottom of the order. They've scored 6 of the 7 runs. Also, 6 of the 7 and driven in 6 of the runs. So they've really played well. Michael Saunders, another good night for Michael. A couple of hits for him. Cano with 2 more hits, raising his batting average. He will lead off. As Anthony Bavaro will take over. 23rd appearance for him, a 2.79 ERA.
Fouled back by Cano. Bavaro, a Mariner back in 2010. 0-1 in 4 games, 4 innings. And very limited action. Since then, he's been with the Braves. And he's compiled a record of 5-5 here in Atlanta.
Fernando Rodney getting loose in the pen. .14 saves on the year for Rodney. And he's tied for 2nd in the American League.
Cano finds a hole. It's a base hit. 3rd hit tonight for Robbie. 3 for 5.
We've seen this a lot this year. Fastball, probably middle in, and the inside outside base hit to left field. I'll bring up Kyle Seager. Kyle, great night last night. 0 for 4 tonight.
Not much of a lead by Cano. Strike 1 to Seager. 3 hits tonight for Cano. His 3rd 3-hit game of the season. He's got 1 4-hit game. Came in as the number 2 hitter in the American League. He hung one, but he got popped up. Long run by the left fielder, Upton, and he's there to make the play.
I'll bring out Smoke. Smoke 0 for 4 tonight. Lined out in his last at bat right to the center fielder, B.J. Upton.
Smoke had a good run. What was it, about week 3, 4, 5 in there? And he has really cooled off.
He's coming up with a lot of clutch hits for the Mariners,
yeah.
Driving in some runs with 2 outs, but yeah, since then it's been a struggle.
I mentioned that Cano, second of Victor Martinez. Victor went 2 for 4 tonight in a 5-3 loss at home to Toronto. So Victor at 338. And Cano's at 333.
I don't think either one of them are going anywhere.
No. Chop foul. How about this? Your thoughts on the Toronto Ball Club?
Wow. They are unreal. Hitting a lot of home runs.
Brett Laurie got one in the 9th off of Albuquerque with 2 on. And a 5-run 9th.
Encarnacion, where's he at? Like something 16, 17 home runs on the year. Batista's trying to run him down.
Yep. Strike two to Smoke. Batista had an RBI tonight. Laurie with the home run. That was the only home run. Batista went 1 for 4. Encarnacion went 1 for 3. Howard Johnson got to be really thrilled with some of the hitting he's seen here tonight by his ball club. 13 hits banged out by the Mariners. That'll get out of play. Mark Teixeira just hit a home run for the Yankees. Yankees lead 2-1 over Oakland now. Top of the 7th in New York. One-two pitch here to Smoke. Striking out. That'll be the second time he's K'd here tonight. 2 down here in the 9th.
They bring up Dustin Ackley. Ackley with a base hit his last time up. It was an infield hit. Kind of a swinging bunt down the first baseline, and he was able to outrun it. Ended up scoring on the home run by Buck.
Like dust in the wind. The organist, did you hear that?
No.
Strike one to Ackley. Got a chance to see his mom and dad in New York the last couple of days. One for 4 night for Dustin Ackley. Batting in a 6-hole.
Navarro has some life to his fastball. He's 93, 94.
I thought it was more than
but it
93.
Looks like he's throwing harder than that. Some late life to it.
Houston leading 5-0 over the Angels in Houston, top 5. Baltimore leading at Texas 2-1. That's in the top of the 7th.
And Rodney looks like he's ready.
Good sign. 1-2 pitch. Stopped by Gaddis.
Well, Rodney, he will get the top of the order for the Braves. Be Hayward, B.J. Upton, and Freeman due up.
With a 2-2 count. 2 outs and a man at first. Mariners up by 2. Pitch to Ackley. Costello with another nice play. Well done. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. That'll be Fernando Rodney taking over as the Mariners holding on to a 7-5 lead, trying to win their 4th consecutive ball game. Atlanta fired up, hoping the Mariners make that, hoping the Braves can get back on top. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD. On more than 400 devices. Visit Mariners.com for details. The delay? Well, the bride needed a new gown. Fernando Rodney had the wrong jersey on. And our good buddy who's kept stats for us over the years, Randy Polakar, he saw a shot when we had a shot at Rodney last inning. He says, he's got the wrong uniform on. I didn't know what he was talking about. Now we know why the delay had to go in and get his right jersey.
Well, he normally has a pretty grand entrance anyway, so why not add to it?
Deliberate.
Yeah, it's deliberate.
Talking to him today before they went out to stretch, and I see this big yellow thing in his glove. He's got a standard size softball. I forgot he was carrying that. He uses that to warm up. Swing his arm around and everything, and it's not weighted. I thought it was. I thought it was. That was the first thing I said. How much weight is it? I said, yeah, it's regular softball. I picked it up as regular softball, but because of the size and
it's just the baseball feel smaller in his hand. That's 23rd appearance on the year, 14 saves for him, a 2.61 ERA, 25 strikeouts in 20 2/3. Opponent's hitting 278 off of him. Good fastball. He'll be in the mid-90s with his fastball, 94 to 97 miles an hour. And, of course, the great changeup, which will be 80, 81 miles an hour. I've seen guys with the softball, they'll throw the split, because they'll use that to separate their fingers more and just keep exercising those things to spread them. And but not to just wave it around.
Yeah.
But, most of the time when the guys have that, it's usually weighted.
I was stunned when it was, and that's the first thing I thought. We saw Rodney on Saturday, 3-2 Mariner win against Detroit. Gave up a walk and a single, then went strikeout, force out, game over.
He's going to get the best part of the Braves lineup, starting at the top of the order with Hayward.
This will be a test. Mariners trying to win their 4th consecutive game, and so are the Braves. First pitch from Rodney. Off the plate, ball 1. $36,503 on hand. Rodney behind 2-0. He's got Hayward, Upton, BJ Upton, and Freddie Freeman. Back with a strike. Nasty pitch, 2-2.
Yeah, that was a good changeup, 81 miles an hour. He gets a good run on us. Actually pulled across that a little bit, ended up inside, ran back on the inside corner.
Two and two. Ooh. We wanted that one.
Yeah. Good fastball, 96 miles an hour.
Two pitch to Hayward. Popped up and do it again. Three-two to Hayward. Strike 3 called. He knew it, too. He knew it. One down.
And Rodney, it's what makes him so tough. He comes back a 3-2 count, and he throws the changeup. Sure, Hayward looking for the fastball. It's right down the middle, but he can't pull the trigger.
Well, here you look at Mr. Rodney with his correct jersey on.
Oh, he had the practice.
Yeah, he had the BP jersey
on.
That's what it was.
B.J. Upton 2 for 4 tonight. Hit his 5th home run of the year. He's also had a couple of strikeouts.
Rodney looking for his 15th save. Teammates in Tampa Bay. 1-1. Moved him off the plate. Two-one pitch. And fastball at 95. 2-2. We're talking about Felix and his arm action on his changeup last night. Who's got the better? I mean, because they're both excellent in terms of arm speed, the way they sell their changeups.
Well, they both keep their arm speed up, but they're different changeups. It's more a speed deception for Rodney, where Felix, it's that downward movement of his.
Rodney disposes of Upton. 2 down.
On the changeup here, you can see it 83 miles an hour. He's well out in front. But the difference is Rodney's throwing 95, 96, so the hitter has to get things started a little bit early to catch up to that fastball. And when he drops that changeup on you, if he keeps it in that location, you're not going to hit it.
Freddie Freeman, RBI single. 1 for 3 with a walk. 2 outs, bottom 9, Mariners by 2. Strike 1 to Freddie. Stephen Romero, big 3-run pinch hit home run in the 4th. It tied the game at 5-5. Then John Buck got his first Mariner home run, 7th inning, opposite field blast. And that's where we are right now. Pitch. 2-1.
$15 pitches for Rodney, 8 strikes.
Here's the 2-1. Line drive left field. Ackley's there. Got it. And the Mariners win the ball game. 4 in a row for the Mariners. They win it 7-5. A Lloyd. Ice cream for everybody.
What a great job by the Mariner bullpen. Again, one of the strengths of this club. They go 6 scoreless innings to give the Mariners a chance to get back into the game. They get in the game by Romero, getting the 3-run homer, then take the lead on the 2-run homer by John Buck. Good win for the Mariners. Good start to the road trip, winning the first 2 games on the trip.
Dominic Leone gets the win. 2-0. Wood the loser. He's 5-6. Rodney his 15th save and 3.